reaching you live and direct from the heart of Africa. If this is your first time watching me on this channel, you are highly welcome. This is the place where I separate the facts from the fiction, the science from the superstitions, and the concepts from the misconceptions about African spirituality. Today, I'll be talking about the benefits of doing what is known as nature rituals, nature rites, the practice of African spirituality. If you are from Africa, you are going to be familiar with this term in another name. We usually call them feasts or festivals, especially in Nigeria, whereby you hear some traditional people telling you that their community have a feast or community have a festival, and they will be inviting you. For example, the popular Agbasa festival we have in the Delta State rural people of Nigeria. We have Agbasa festival, very popular. All the rural people, all the major clans gather, and they do this annual celebration. We have the Oshun Oshogbo festival in Osun State. We have the Ife festival. We have the Ijebu Ode festival. Every community in Africa, the people, they have these rituals and rites. We call them feasts and festivals, but if you want to go to English, they classify them as nature rituals. Today, I'll be talking about the benefits and importance of these nature rituals, these feasts, these festivals. Why do the people do it? And why you should be also be doing something like this too. They are very important and necessary, and it's a good thing. So first of all, let's define what is or what are nature rituals. Nature rituals can be defined or referred to as practices that connects people to the natural world. Uh, Anything you do that connects you to the natural world is a nature right. You do this as a symbolic action or act, and you can do this as a kind of a psychological observance to like give attention to the natural elements around you. You do this for many purposes. You do this to connect with the your environmental surrounding, to acknowledge them, to create a time in space whereby you will say, okay, today, this my environment, this place I am living, I want to dedicate this day to the veneration, or I just want to spend time with nature or in nature today. I want to sit in the sand. I want to go into the forest. I want to talk to the forest. I want to spend time with the forest. And part of this reason for me doing this is to acknowledge the the things that are inside, the spirit or the intelligence that created this forest, the intelligence that created this river. You do this in order to acknowledge your maker, just to say, whoever is there that created this earth, this universe, this life, that created the water, the sea, the rivers, the forest, and created all the animals, and including me. Today, I want to spend time to thank them. I don't know who they are, but I love everything around me. I love seeing all these things around me. I am very thankful. I am very grateful for the life I have been given. I'm very grateful for being born into this planet to enjoy all these things, to participate in nature, to be part of this living force, this creative force, and to just be here, just to be mindful and thankful. You dedicate a day for this kind of thing. This is usually a day of festivity, a day of happiness, a day of jubilation. So we call this nature rites, nature rituals, or we call them feasts, we call them festivals. In Africa, let me use the Nigerian parlance. We they call them feasts for Nigeria. Okay, that's what we they call them. So this is just a day that the community people are choosing to be doing all these things, to acknowledge nature, and to thank whoever is behind this creative force that they are grateful and they are happy to show gratitude to them once again. So we're going to find these rituals all over Africa. Okay, we do them as a community. We also do them as individuals. As individuals, it can involve you say, okay, today I want to go into the forest to go and meditate, or I want to take some offerings to the deities or the spirits or the intelligence behind this forest, or I want to go and give some offerings to the spirits in the river to thank them for the great work they are doing in the generating life in the world, in the great circle of life, giving waters to the plants, and just thanking them for being who they are. So we can do this individually. So why is it important to do this kind of things? One of the main, very important reasons is that when you connect with nature, when you fuse with nature in this way, you create time to connect to do this right. You are actually shaping your reality in this time and space. You are actually pushing your personality, your mind, your spirit into nature. So by you doing these rituals, creating monuments, doing offerings, doing acknowledgement, you are actually projecting an aspect of your spirit, of your own self. You are pushing it into to fusing it with this with the natural elements. Thereby, you are creating a new reality in that place, shaped in your own image and likeness, in your own personality, in your dreams, in your aspiration. In other words, you are immortalizing your spiritual and physical self to be part of that environment. This is the reason. That is why when you travel to different places, for instance, you go to India, what you're going to see in India is different from what you're going to see in a place like Mexico or a place like Africa. You will discover that the people that have been living in India since the ancient time, they are, due to the constant rites they have been doing, they have been able to fuse themselves into their natural environment to create a unique identity that reflects who they are. So by looking at the environments, looking at the monuments, looking at what they are beautiful, you can be able to say this represents a certain type of people that is totally different from you. Because what you see there is a combination or a collection of their own cosmology or their own view or perspective of nature, and what they have been able to view or understand concerning nature is what they have been able to create in that reality for them. Same thing when you come to Africa. When you come to Africa, you go to our spiritual centers, the shrines, you see the people, you try to study our ancient spiritual systems. You will discover that the people here have been able to create their own rites, symbolisms, monuments, and artifacts based on their view, their interactions with their own natural elements. And what this does is that it immortalizes and crystallizes their spiritual foundation as the bedrock of that community. So these people now become part and parcel of that land. When they die, they have no options. They naturally will reincarnate back into that very space because they have crystallized and immortalized their spiritual essence into that land. So they may likely have a higher chance of reincarnating back into that very place that their ancestors have been pouring all this their emotional energy into by fusing with the natural element of that place. So this is a very powerful thing that brings cohesion to the community, to the people of that land, and unifies them and solidifies their presence and their essence in that place. It pushes their will, their dreams into the natural elements in that place. So by doing this right constantly, what they will do is that it will now create a form of collective egregor. This is a deity or a group of deities that has been created with the mental and spiritual link of that community, this egregor will now bind the people together as one. It will not become a deity that will be overseeing the affairs of that community or that group of people. So as the time goes on, it becomes stronger and stronger. The more people push their emotional energy into this egregor by giving offerings, sacrifices, praises, attention. The more attention is given to it, the more it becomes stronger. So the more older it is, the more it becomes stronger in that place. So what it happens is that these people are attached to these uh, deities or to these monuments, and it now becomes a guiding force and a rallying point for the people. So we have this kind of rights, this kind of nature rights. So whatever we are rallying around now becomes the focal point of the community. Hence, we have community deities. This can be artifacts that have been created with natural elements, as in statues, as in it can also be just the plain element like a river, living essence of a river that the all day community people decide to pour their emotional energy into. The deity or the spirit or the intelligence or the energies that have been concentrated on that river that create an egregor. It can also be a piece of land that have been dedicated to be a sacred place, a sacred land. We have lots of them. The land is venerated, is given particular attributes, and the people, it means something to them. Okay, it can be any kind of thing. It can be element like the sun or a particular tree. All this. It can also be an animal. It can also be a living person, like what we have now with this our GOs in Nigeria. So what is happening is that they have now been able to create themselves into an egregor, whereby the congregation now worships the man of dog. Instead of connecting with divinity, they now send all their emotional energy, financial energy, or physical energy to just one single human being, which is the man of God or dog. Like to call them this. So when you create this kind of egregor, what happens is that it becomes powerful with time. The more people push attention to it, and as a result of this, based on that, it's now become a rallying force. The congregation will feel lost without the egregor, without the pastor. The community too will feel lost without that place, that point of contact. This is one of the reasons for the breakdown of African spiritual practices during colonization. When the Europeans came to Africa, many of our artifacts were stolen. They are all in the European museums, as you know. They were taken away, symbolic things, deities, all these were packed and were looted away to Europe. So when you steal an artifact like this, you are still a part of the cultural memory of these people, like their memory bank or memory card that have been there for thousands of years. And when you're taking a particular thing like this away, the people will feel disconnected. And a lot of things can happen: imbalance, lack of direction, lack of a focal point. As a result of that, they cannot really function well. So when the Europeans did this, I believe it was a calculated attempt to destabilize Africa by stealing our cultural artifacts and all these things and taking it away from the people. The people becomes just there, confused, and a part of them have been taken away. They cannot really function properly. So these are some of the negative effects of you doing this kind of things, desecrating or taking away these artifacts or places of focus. It can cause this kind of problems. So nature rituals are very, very important. When you do these rituals, you helps you to connect with nature. It helps you to create a focal point that you can be able to like reset your mind, reset your spirit, reset your soul, and it gives you that link of recharging your spirit, renewal, growth, regeneration. It also helps with grounding, centering yourself, reaffirming yourself. Okay, I am now in this world. What is the reasons for me being here? What role am I playing? Am I playing a role of supporting nature? Am I living in harmony, or am I a destructive force? It makes you see the role that you are playing, and kind of brings a sort of sober reflection to your essence of being here. It also helps with emotional healing. Those of us that have been suffering from trauma or depression, sadness, or inability to adapt with this fast changing modern world, grounding yourself in nature will enable you to find solutions. We help you to heal you. We help you to find ways to solve your problems, to survive. No matter how things is difficult, you will always find a way to survive if you ground yourself very well in nature. A way we always open for you, that you can be able to see opportunities where other people are not seeing it, and help can we always come from somewhere for you. So this helps with that kind of thing. It also helps to reduce stress, whereby you have been doing going up and down, passing through the hustle and bustle of city life. Every day you go to work in a concrete jungle, jumping from bus or different transportation, living this unnatural life. Once in a while you go into nature, spend time in nature. It will help to relieve you of all this stress, and also recharge you as well. Okay. Then people also do this kind of things for spiritual growth and development. In order to enhance your spiritual growth, you find time spending time with nature. As I have often said on this channel, nobody have actually seen God. This thing we call God's, which we bring to your mind, the vision of a man, a old white man like Santa Claus, with binoculars, looking from heaven, peeping and doing nothing. This is the Christian version of God. Jehovah always watching, an everlasting pervert that does nothing but just watches. A failed God, a deprived non-entity, a sadist, misogynistic, woman-hating, depressed, gay individual that is suffering from insane burst of madness, that is also jealous. And this is their vision of their own God, not my own God. Okay? But what I'm trying to point here is that we have something that is responsible for creating nature. It is not that God that the Christians are venerating. Certainly not the one that is telling people that he will give them virgins and other things in paradise. The God that created the natural world, the sun, the moon, human beings, nobody have seen that one. We humans are a representation of that thing. We are the reflection of this deity, this real deity, not the fake one. And nature is a reflection of this deity. It's a life-giving force, quite naturally. We can see that, a force that represents balance. The more we know about nature, is the more we are going to know about these gods. So the more we spend time in nature, the more we study nature, the more we venerate nature, the more we have more understanding of our natural element, and the more we become like God, the more we become more knowledgeable, the more we become more enlightened, more evolved, the more we rise higher. So we need to spend time in nature. We need to be doing these offerings from time to time, these feasts, these festivals. We need to be doing them. Okay, it's very, very important that we do them, because when you do them, you push your will into the natural world. And what this does is that it percolates, and it amplifies into the natural world, and it helps to bring your wishes faster. It helps to bring your manifestations into reality faster. So this is the reason why our communities in the ancient time, they do these feasts and festivals regularly. They do this seasonally. In Nigeria, you we know the popular New Yam festival. They do this during the beginning of the planting season, during the starting of the raining season of spring. This is a time of renewal, of rebirth, a new earth. A lot of festivals go on to time the universe or to synchronize their life with the universe. So they do these rites during the Easter time. A lot of festivals and feasts goes on to start a new cycle. All these are nature rituals. Then we have elemental rituals. Elemental rituals are rituals that are done with the elemental deities of the earth. When you do your river offering, your sea offering, you carrying your food to give to the sea, to the spirit or intelligence, is an elemental ritual because you doing it in synchronity or in veneration of the water elements. So people do this regularly. The essence of you doing this is to program your consciousness into the water bodies because water is life. So the essence is that when you push your intentions, your prayers into a flowing body of water that is alive, the energy of that water or that river will give life to your intentions. So it will make it manifest faster because water is alive. Science has proven it. So if you want your manifestations to come quickly, your dreams or your prayers to come quickly, do water offerings so that it will give life to those things that you want to see happen. Then we also do this elemental rites with nature. You go into the forest or choose a particular tree or a particular spot that is filled with life, and you put your offerings there, choose a particular tree or anywhere. Sitting in nature, sometimes resting your back on a tree while meditating helps to ground you. It helps to drain away stress from your body. It helps to synchronize the rhythm of your body with that of the tree. So by you resting your back on the tree and meditating, if there is any imbalance in your chakra system or your spiritual body, if the tree is going to reset it to make it go to its natural rhythm. This is why people go into nature to venerate. This is also the reason why people walk barefoot. There are some particular religious bodies that walk barefoot in Nigeria. They do this to ground themselves with the rhythm of the earth. So when you walk barefoot, you put your leg on the sand, on the grass, spending time. It drains stress from the body. It also heals the body. It also balances the hormones of the body. Science have proven all these things, by the way. Okay, so when science proves something, it's no longer a spiritual thing again. It's not natural thing. So science and spirituality is one and the same thing. So all these are part of nature rituals I'm talking about. When I say rituals, some people smile, especially in Nigeria, we go to blood money rituals. Okay, all those people, they are low-minded people. Or we'll talk of nature rituals, right to do with nature. Okay, spending time in nature, walking barefoot, doing water offerings, doing offerings in the forest, or if you are living in the desert region, you do it in the desert. If you say, okay, today I want to venerate the sun, you bring a chicken and a goat and killing it to venerate the deities of the sun. It's all nature rituals, basically. Anything that connects you with nature, any practice, other symbolic acknowledgement, simple prayer, meditation, all this encompasses of nature rituals. Okay, there are simple things we need to be doing. What it does is that it connects us with nature quite naturally. It enables us to fuse and push our will, our intentions into nature so that they can manifest. This is the essence, and it's also a way of showing gratitude, of mindfulness, being conscious that okay, I am not alone in this planet. There are other elements here, there are other animals here. I need to spend time with them. I need to try to connect with them, acknowledge them, and find a way to live in harmony with them. It's not a good thing whereby, like some other people, they want to kill all the animals. They just want to destroy all the plants and just move things into extinction. The more we take things into extinction, the more our extinction becomes more closer. So we must try to preserve, restore, preserve, balance. This should be our key focus, especially for practitioners of African spirituality. So these rites, these festivals that you see us do in African spirituality was created by our ancestors to maintain this balance, to thank divinity for the things that they are enjoying, benefiting, for thanksgiving, and also to reconnect them, and also for renewal. All this is the benefits of doing this. So they do this regularly. Doing these rites regularly solidifies your presence in the place that you are living. It solidifies your presence. It connects you with the spirits of that place, connects you with the elements, connects you with the deities, connects you with everything, and it creates an harmony, a kind of a brotherhood. Okay, creates an affinity, and when you do this longer time, you become part and parcel of that place. It's hard for somebody to come there and we not notice this, that these people are very, very much connected to the environment. It's like the air will start speaking to you, the land, the grass, everything will be speaking to you. If something is going wrong, you will easily know because you are very sensitive to the environment. You become part of the environment. There's a feeling that is there that I just cannot be able to describe. It's like a intuition or a shared consciousness. This is what will happen between you and your environment when you continue to do this. Before something bad will happen, you will get an insight into it, and there will be this synchronicity that will bring balance and harmony between you and the environment. So the benefits are very, very much. Okay, we can see this in our African communities. When you come to Africa, you go to certain, you can, even before the people see anything, you can see this connection and affinity between the people and their natural environments. This is because they have been able to fuse themselves into the environment. They now create this affinity that it's like they are part and parcel of the place. When people are complaining that this place is a very difficult place to live in, the people living there is already used to them. When you go to some riverine communities, you see people living daily life in water, and it's natural. They have been able to fuse themselves almost 100% with their environment. So living there is no more stressful for them. They are like part and parcel of the land. The land becomes them. They are also the land. This is what happens when you do this kind of rites. Like let me give an example of people living in the desert. Those Tuareg tribes, Fulani. You will see that there is no water in the whole place. Everywhere is dry and very hot here. People are living. They are striving. You will have to wonder, how are they doing this? A normal average person, you put them in that desert, they are not going to survive more than a day or two. But you will see people living in that very place for like more than 100 years. They have a tribe living there. How are they doing it? The reason for this is that they have been able to successfully fuse themselves with the environment so they can survive. They know almost everything about that environment, and they are living there. This is what happens when you do all these things. Okay, when you come to some part of Africa, you see people living in some kind of places that you yourself know that you are not going to survive more than a week there, but people have been living there for ages. You will ask your question, how are they doing it? They are able to do this because they have been able to successfully fuse themselves to that environment by doing these natural rites constantly for a period of time. So you can be able to adapt to any environment if you do all these things, if you connect yourself to the environment. Okay, the environment will show you how to survive. The spirits, the deities, the elements, the intuition, the knowledge, the wisdom will come into you, and you will survive in that place. So this is part of the ways people do this, connecting by doing nature rites, nature rituals, or feasts and festivals. Besides, doing these regular festivals yearly, it let people to know that you are actually the owners of that land. When people don't see you coming out from time to time to do these rites, people will think that you don't exist. Okay, they will look down on you. They will think nobody is there. They will think that maybe the people are not powerful or the land have no owner. Doing these rituals exerts your ownership of the land. Because if you are not really from that land, you can't come out to do these festivals openly. This is why many tribes, they don't allow other tribes, people living in their land, to do festivals like this. You can live with them, but when you want to do this, they will tell you, no, you can't do it here. This is our land. Go to your own place to do it. Doing these festivals and feasts solidifies your hold on the land. It tells people that you own the place. Okay, like now you go to America, now you see the Native American people. When they call, if they don't come out, people will not acknowledge that, will not even know that there exist. They need to come out from time to time to do their rites, carry their drums, their bands, sing, and do these rituals. So you know that yes, they are the real owners of this place. You need to be doing all this regularly. If not, strangers will come and take your land from you and start fighting you all over the place. So doing this rites solidifies your presence. It shows ownership, and you also do this for cleansing. Maybe there are issues of crimes or problems, imbalance in the land. Doing these rituals fused with nature, we help to cleanse the land of all these kind of atrocities or evil things that have been happening. When people come together to push their will or to make up their mind to do something, to speak against the evils of a land, those evil spirits will be taken out, will be rejected. People comes out once in a while, make a public statement, go around the town and make declarations, affirmations, uh, asking for the things they want to see in this place, just like making a prayer or something. It goes a long way to know that these people do not support evil or do not support misfit or imbalance. So it will help the elemental spirits will be put on notice to make sure that those kind of things does not happen. Okay. So all these helps. So nature rituals are very good. We that practice African spirituality, we need to be doing these rites. We need to be taking part in them. If you having these rites, doing it in your village, you should attend. If you cannot attend, at least support the ritual. Send money there to the people that are doing it to show support, so that it will continue going. This is something that you need to keep doing to make sure that your culture survives. So we must support it morally, support it financially, support it with your presence if possible. So when people see you doing all this, it goes a long way to speak volumes that you are proud of yourself, you are proud of your culture, and you are fulfilling your spiritual responsibilities of bringing order or bringing balance, connecting with nature, acknowledging the creator, or healing yourself, developing yourself, creating time to say, okay, today, this day, we are dedicating it to thank our ancestors, to thank all the elemental spirits, and to thank the divinity for putting us here, for giving us this land. And you just show gratitude. When you show gratitude, they say your blessings multiply, that kind of thing. So nature rituals are very important. You can choose to do it with your community, or you can do it on your own as an individual. I encourage people from time to time, you do these rites. If you are living near the river or sea, maybe once in a week or once in a month, go and be doing some sea offerings, water offerings. It will help to push your wish into nature, to give it life, and to make things go well for you. If you're living near the forest, you do the forest right. If you're living based on your condition, wherever you are, you do the rites based on the natural elements that you find in your environment. And it's a way of fusing yourself there, manifesting your dreams and aspirations with the power of nature. So these are very important things that we need to be doing, and we need to be taking into consideration. People all over the world have been doing this stuff. They do it in every culture. So it's not a crime if we in African spirituality are doing it. It is nothing demonic. It is just natural thing that needs to be done from time to time for all these reasons that have been mentioned here. Okay. So this is what I wanted to say today. Questions or comments are welcome. Please like and share this video. And of course, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. When you subscribe, hit the enable all notification so that when I post videos, post articles, you will be the first to get it. And you share the channel so that other people can be able to get this knowledge about African spirituality and we can all grow together. Okay. If you also want to learn about African spirituality, I have an inner class. This inner class is designed to facilitate your learning process. You want to get the main stuff, you don't want to waste time, you're tired of picking bits and pieces of information all over the internet that are not coherent. You waste so much time doing that. But if you register for my program within 6 months, you will be a master of this subject because I will give you only the relevant information. Informations I will be giving you are those ones that the bad people are hiding from you. I will teach you about the history, the hardcore spirituality, the metaphysics, meditation rites, everything you need to know about African spirituality so that you can enhance your growth and development in no distant time. So please register for my program. It is not expensive. Okay. Then if you want to do your oracle tarot divination, I do those divination readings. You can contact me on this channel. I charge them just $50 for that. Then if you want to read books, I have been able to write 3 books so far on this subject. This one is on quantum physics. This book talks about the intersection between spirituality and science. Quantum physics is the field in the Western world where they study African spirituality. They call it quantum physics. It's the study of the most minutest, invisible particles of nature. That is things you can't see with the naked eyes. Those atomic structure, proton, nuclei, sparks, specks, all these things. When you go beyond, we're talking about spirit particles. Yeah, quantum physics will teach you all this, that it originated from African spirituality. I traced it to Africa, to ancient Kemet, which is ancient Egypt. All this knowledge came from Africa. When you go to the Western educational schools, they will tell you that civilization started in Greek, that the Greek people are the most intelligent people. They will be teaching you about Socrates, Aristotle, Herodotus, Strabo, all those funny Greek philosophers. But when you study them, you find out that all the Greek philosophers came to study in Africa. So who was teaching them in Africa? If not our ancestors here in Africa, our fathers. So we taught the Greek everything, and the Greek taught the Romans, and the Romans teach all the rest ones in Europe. This should be how they're supposed to be teaching us, that Africa is the origin of everything, but they have cut Africa up and they decide to enslave us. Instead of saying the truth, they decide to lie. And we have been suffering from this lie, and they came up with the theory of evolution to say that we evolved from monkeys and we are inferior people, that they classify humans onto 3 groups: Negroid, Mongoloid, Caucasian, and say Caucasian is the most intelligent. All this nonsense. And it was if you want to say the classical, they say we are Negroes. Is it not the so-called Negroloid that touched the Caucasians or what they know? So these people, they are not teaching us the right thing. They are not teaching us the right thing. So if you want to learn the right thing, study authentic African history and spirituality. In this book, we help you connect all the dots, so you don't going to a religion that insulting your soul, calling Jesus Christ your master is insulting your spirit, means that you don't know your history. Jesus Christ is a slave master. Okay, it's not your God. It's an image of a white man. If you want to know God, worship your own image as a black man. Be proud of yourself. Okay, this book helps you with all the scientific evidence. So that's why you need to read this book. In the book, I talked about time travel, space travel, quantum entanglements. This is how you can use part of a particle to affect the whole of that particle. I talked about negative space. What is it? 0-point energy, the atomic structure, the evil forest. All these are concepts that they don't teach or talk about in our universities. They only teach all these subjects inside the Western secret societies. so that only their children will know all this stuff. Okay, they're not going to tell you. There's somebody that want to enslave you, not going to teach you knowledge that will free you. This is why they don't teach all these things. If they teach that African people were once great and we taught them everything, we will have the mind to be great again. So your enemies are not going to teach you the truth, and it's not their responsibility. It's not their place to teach you who you are. It is your own responsibility to know who you are. Okay, so don't blame them for not teaching you. If they teach you, say that you teach their papa what they know, you're not going to respect them again. You will not respect them. You will not regard them. You will not listen to them. You will want to do your own thing. So they're not going to teach you all this. They're going to teach you lie that they created one savior that come to save you. Even that they died 2,000 years ago, 2,000 years then they complete. And they tell you the world created 6,000 years ago. Yesterday I was watching BBC. Just yesterday. It was on the 19th now of July. They were talking about some scientists that went to Antarctica to collect ice. They say this ice that they have collected is 1.5 million years old. And the scientists were so excited. So meaning we have ice that is as old as 1.5 million years in this earth. And the Christian Bible is telling you that the world was created 6,000 years ago. That the world is only 6,000 years, that Jesus Christ, the time of the world is 2,000 years old, 2025. Somebody is lying. We cannot be in 2025 why scientists are seeing ice that is 1.5 million years old. You can go and Google it now. Scientists discovered ice at 1.5 billion years old, and we are in 2025. Does it not rack your brain like snooker ball? So meaning this our calendar is not correct. If we are in 2025, 2025 years in their Gregorian calendar, but scientists is carrying ice from UK, from Antarctica, that is 1.5 million years old. Who should we follow? Is it the people that are telling us stories and fairy tales, or the real scientists that are digging the earth to uncover the secret of the earth? If you tell my African brothers many of these things, they will shut down their brain and start insulting you that you are trying to corrupt them, that you want to take them to hellfire for telling them the truth. All those our Ogobo, who we get for Africa, those our church mama, all those Mrs. Amen, pastor wife, we don't want to let us hear word. They are so dumb and stupid that they have shut their eyes and minds to wisdom and understanding. And yet they want to still be free from white supremacy. Is it possible? Somebody that has shut their brain to wisdom and knowledge, I want it free. You don't need any shame for that person again now. You don't need to shame them. You don't need to put them for slave. You don't already shame himself. This is the problem we're having. Every day they say the truth, but they refuse to pay attention. So we that are here on this channel, please do not listen to these evil people. They call us bad people because we know ourselves. Because we study and practice African spirituality. We choose to follow the original, authentic way of knowledge. They say we not be good people. So what do we want to do? We need to stay on these paths. When you get this knowledge, teach your children the truth. If they want to teach their children stupidity, let them teach their own children stupidity. But your children, you own a responsibility as a parents to make sure that they know the truth about life, so that they will have a chance of fighting chance of making a better life for themselves, and not allowing the enemy to deceive them in the next generation. Most of our parents have failed us. Our parents failed us because they don't know any better. During their time, there was no internet. Many of them were under pressure. They don't know what to do. They failed us because they just want to survive. But now that we have access to information, we should not fail the next generation. Nowadays, a lot of youths are failing the next generation because they want to enjoy themselves. They want to drink beer. They want to live the life that they feel that is enjoyment. They are failing the next generation. They don't want to invest in knowledge. When you tell them buy book, they say my book too dear. Okay, still study on your own. They not get time. but they get time to play bet Ninja. They get time to gamble. They get time to buy fake air extension. They get time to watch unnecessary poisonous programs for their soul. They get time to do all the nonsense, go to Owambe, waste their time doing nonsense, but they don't get time to acquire knowledge. What can we go do? If you have failed yourself as a parent, please do not fail your children. Okay, if you say it's too late for me, I understand. If I talk or I stand, they will sack me from work. I know if many people come out to say they believe in African spirituality, they will fire them. People have gone so far, they can't break away. If you say it's too late for you, I understand. You are over 40, you are over 50. But your children, please, teach them the truth. Buy a book for them. They will thank you later. Prepare them for the future. This is just think about the next generation. Okay, not be everything will take the play panya. If you know so you don't fail, at least make your children not still fail too. Okay, so please take this into consideration. This book of over 200 spells a year, Walking the Shadow of the Gods. If you want to know how to do African spell, the mechanics of spell working, you want to know how to mix different herbs, you want to know the secrets of many herbs, the botanical names, I put them inside. Chapter 1 is all about herbs. Chapter 2 is mixing of herbs and compounds. It will increase your knowledge. Still buy them too. Buy them for your children too. If you know say you don't get time to do all these things, find 1 or 2 people, buy them as gift item for them. They'll thank you later. This one too, if you say about African deities, over more than 20 African deities a year. It does not make sense that you say you are from Africa, you don't know about any of our deity, you don't get anyone where you venerate, you don't just know anything about any of them, and you are from Africa. It is also not a good thing. This is the reason I write this book, to explain the nature, the philosophy, the characteristics, consciousness of these deities here. We have deities of prosperity, deities of transformation, death and rebirth, deity of balance, deity of retribution, even destruction, deity of wisdoms, all the Teuti, Amen-Ra, Eshu, even Santisma Morieti. They are here waiting for you. At least read about them, know about them. It doesn't make sense that you are from Africa, you know nothing about your spirituality. When it comes there, you are brain dead and you so proud. It's a shame. Okay, you see Chinese people, you envy them. They don't. Chinese people are not Christians, but we buy all the things they make. Spirituality is a practical approach to life. If you are not practical, then you are not doing it right. This is why I write all these books. I am still writing more. It's a practical approach. You must bring out your knowledge. You must showcase your knowledge. You must solve solutions and solve problems. You must be able to have a truth, a set of principles. You must be scientific in your living. You must be intentional. Your spiritual responsibility should not be to a third party that asks you to just believe and all your problem will solve. That is a lazy approach to spirituality. That is spiritual laziness. Christianity makes people to be lazy. Christianity creates people that are having no feelings for life. You injure a person, you hurt somebody. Christianity tells you don't have to apologize to them as far as you apologize to Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ will forgive you. Christianity creates beasts and monsters. When brothers will steal their, or families steal the other brother's property, and they will be comfortable. It creates beasts in children, beasts in people, people that have no feeling, no love. This is why we have so many imbalance in the world today. Christianity, Islam, they are bringing about the Abrahamic religions. You see people stealing other people's land in the Middle East, committing genocide in the presence of everybody, and they feel very comfortable. This is not the role model of humanity. This is not what we plan. Not be so God plan them. This is because of the religion. Religion creates men to become monsters to other men. So we need balance in this life. We need authentic knowledge of our spiritual understanding, development. This book, Whispers of Amente, will help you. These Abrahamic religions, they are the ones causing imbalance and not the problems that they claim to be the good guys, but they are the bad guys, the wolf in sheep clothing. So as an African person, you need to come back to your authentic, organic African spirituality And you need to face facts. You need to be down to earth, and you need to be in attunement with nature. All these things will help you. The knowledge that they're hiding, many of these so-called people, they're hiding. I put them in book, and now you have access to it. Okay, you don't have excuse not to know. So buy book and empower yourself today, or register for my program. Support the movement, support knowledge, support wisdom. Anyone you want to do, you do. Okay, so it's here waiting for you. You can contact me under the YouTube channel in case you are interested. Then if you want to buy your spiritual items, anything we use in the practice, like encounters or native shock, bitter cola, meditation beads, soaps, perfume, all kind of ointments, I have all these things. So you can contact me for any of them. Okay, apart from that, I thank you very much, and I'll be seeing you in the subsequent videos as usual. So take care and bye. Peace.